Hi, everybody. Ken Phelps here from the Daytona Regional Chamber of Commerce. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our Mission Member Spotlight interview. Our mission members are those business and community leaders who really strongly believe in the work of the Daytona Regional Chamber and go over and above in their support of our mission. And today it's my pleasure to welcome Jeannette Duerr, Principal of Duerr Communications, to learn a little bit about her and her business. Jeannette, thanks for taking a few minutes with us today.
I'm really glad to be here, Ken.
To start, tell us a little bit about Duerr Communications. I know you have a vast background in the communications field. So how did you come to be doing business in the region for yourself?
I like to say I'm a seasoned public relations professional. But my husband and I moved down here 10 years ago. I maintained a home in Maryland, where we came from, because I still had commitments to clients there, and it was easier just to also have a place to drop my bags. But we meant to slow down a little bit and enjoy the great weather after years of snow blowing, and could not have picked a better spot than the Daytona region. So, as I said, we thought we'd slow down, especially as I worked through my other contracts up north and gave up the home there too. But as many people know, I'm a retirement failure because I then went to work for a number of years for a local company, for Synergy Billing. A lot of people are familiar with that company, and slowed it back down a little bit a couple of years ago and reestablished what had been Duerr Communications from my earlier life, reestablished that here. I see a need for this kind of service to the companies that are located here in the Daytona region. And so it's been a real joy to be able to provide that service to them.
Now, you've held a broad spectrum of positions in healthcare, economic development, academics, throughout your career. So you've kind of seen what it takes for a community to thrive from a variety of different angles. So why does advocating a strong economic and business environment resonate with you, and how does the work you do for your clients support that effort?
Well, it resonates with me because for this entire community to reach its highest potential, we need thriving, healthy, active businesses. And honestly, so many of the resources that we need to elevate our community come from business, and businesses recognize, chamber members certainly recognize that a healthy community, and I mean that in the most holistic way, is good for business, and healthy businesses are good for the community. It's quite holistic, and I think that all of those elements have to work together to make this the kind of community that I want to settle in, that I want to live in for the rest of my life, in which we have family and in which I have business colleagues.
Now, I know you've talked about kind of creating a legacy at this point in your career. There's a thread of community in what you do. You're a past president of the local chapter for the Florida Public Relations Association. You were a member of Leadership Daytona, Class 39, the Fine 39, as you guys took that moniker, and many other organizations. Would you share why being involved in the community is so important to you?
I suppose it's a passion that goes back to my early days as a social worker. Yes, my background is in social work, and I say that's not so different from public relations in that both are about modifying perceptions and behavior. Um, I I want to live in a community. I have children and grandchildren here, and I want us all to be in a community in which we can thrive. It is not only a joy, but it's a responsibility to become involved in community activities. And I I would do almost everything if I could. And I think about some of our great business leaders in Volusia County who seem to do everything almost. But I try to focus on a few passions. One of those is helping, again, I use the word elevate all the time, don't I? But helping to elevate the professionalism of my colleagues in public relations. Um, one of the, what I do for my clients is help them form strategies that will build relationships with the audiences they need to reach to be successful. In fact, we did a whole chamber workshop on that. But using public relations to reach your business, to fulfill your business plan. Um, and you can't, as a business person myself, and as I advise my clients, in order to be successful in any community, you need to find something about which you're passionate and become involved in it. For me, it's healthcare, workforce housing, and workforce development. And as you know, one of my favorite chamber activities has been working on the workforce development aspect of a healthy community. However, the chamber has also, I have found our advocacy positions similar, for instance, in advocating for full funding of the Sadowski Fund, which is an affordable housing fund from the legislature. So I love working with people in the community, including my fellow chamber members, on these issues that I think are critical to the health of our community.
Yeah, it really gets back to that holistic approach that you were
It
talking about.
does. There's not one answer to addressing some of the issues, the challenges that our community faces. There are several issues that affect the health of this community. And so working with people who see this from a whole picture point of view, and then picking the parts where I can be effective, and picking the partners from the business community with whom I can be effective, are critical, I think, to any hope of success.
Well, every community has its challenges. The Daytona Beach region is no exception of that, but we have also got some pretty remarkable aspects of our community. So if I forced you to narrow it down to one, maybe two, what would you say are your favorite aspects of doing business in the Daytona Beach region?
Well, as I just said, finding Daytona, I came from the Baltimore, Washington corridor, and have worked with national accounts many times. But in many ways, the Daytona region is a small town. And so it's not hard for me. I've been here 10 years, a little over 10 years. And I think I've been successful in forming relationships and partnerships because the people in this community are so welcoming, and because people are eager to hear from and get support from someone who's willing to roll up their sleeves and work towards solutions. It's easy to complain. It's not so easy to sit down and say, okay, what could work, and not be afraid of failing, but trying again. We've seen it just in the 10 years I've been here, I've seen things come and go, and people should have no shame if something they've tried hasn't worked out. Let's just try again. Let's learn from that and try again. And the people I've met in this community are very willing to do that, not judgmental about trying. They appreciate the effort and look for the opportunity to learn and move on to another idea. So for sure, the people, as I we talked about leadership, and that has been one of the most significant experiences of my time here in this community. I became involved with leadership because I do have these passions, and I wanted to find out more specifically who is addressing those, who shares my passion, who I can work with, and what I found was a whole team of people that I can call on, that I know I can call, and who I hope would feel they can call on me when we want to tackle something that's challenging our community. And leadership far exceeded my expectations, to say the least. And plus, it was really fun. I made some great friends in that group.
Well, I would echo those sentiments, having gone through leadership
Right.
myself a couple of years prior to you. I agree. It is such a tremendous experience, and I look forward to working with you on the efforts that you're passionate about and partnering to, as you said, help elevate our community to its fullest potential.
It's a great joy to work with everyone at the chamber, Ken.
Jeannette, thanks so much for your support of the chamber, and we really thank you for sharing a few minutes with us this afternoon.
My pleasure.
And we'd like to thank you for tuning in to our Mission Member Spotlight. Be sure to check out future editions of the Daytona Regional Chamber e-brief for more Mission Member Spotlights. And if you're checking this out on our YouTube channel, be sure to take a moment to subscribe so you get additional chamber content as well. Thanks for watching, and so long, everybody.